What's up, boxing fans? This is TVE Boxing back at you again. Today's topic: besides youth, does Teofimo have anything else to deal with the skills of Lomanchenko? Let's chop it up and see what it's all about.
On the block with the pole, huh? This is the life that I chose, huh? On the block with the pole, huh? That life before riches, huh? That life before riches, huh? Pretty bitch showing me titties, huh? And I got the glaze, you run up on me, I'ma make you get it. I'ma make you get it.
This is really
All right,
hard.
boxing fans, we're back. Okay, so we're gonna chop it up with about the upcoming fight between Vasily Lomanchenko and Teofim Lopez. And like the topic of the today's boxing commentary or analysis is, what skills does Teofimo really have to deal with the skills of Lomanchenko besides his youth? What does he really have? And that's what we want to talk about today. So we know what Lomanchenko brings to the table. We have seen him in several fights so far, and he basically has been breaking down his opponents, and then if he doesn't take them out of here, he usually just decisions them. But I believe that he mostly knocks these guys out. And I think Luke Campbell went the distance with him. But other than that, most of the guys he fights, he knocks them out, and he just overwhelms them with movement, speed, lateral movement. He does everything in the book. Really, there's nothing that he doesn't really do in that ring. He's good ring generalship, good movement. He has decent power. He's not the most powerful puncher in the world, but it's good enough to knock people out. So we have seen what he can do. He has a lot of skills, a lot of experience. Even though he only had a few fights, but he has a ridiculously spectacular amateur record. I think like 395-1 or something like that. So he's bringing a lot to the table, okay, and we have seen it, and he has proven it over and over again. In terms of Teofimo, we know that he's a young kid. He's young, okay, so he does have youth on the side. Lomachenko is in his 30s, I think in the middle 30s or somewhere on the north side of 30. I don't know if we can say that we have seen his skills deteriorate. Some people might say that that his skills has been deteriorating, but I'm not sure if that's the case. I think it's more or less that he's been moving up in weight, so you get up there with the bigger guys, they can take your punches better, and they can punch harder. At a higher weight. At lightweight, Lomachenko is a small guy. Okay, when he fought Linares, we saw the size difference. Linares was a big guy compared to Lomachenko. So, it goes without saying that Teofimo, he's getting ready to move up to 140 probably after this fight. Okay, so he's not, he's a pretty, he's a natural lightweight, probably a natural 140 pounder. But he's bigger than Lomachenko, so but I don't know how much that's gonna play a part in the fight. I don't think he's much bigger than Lomachenko. They look almost the same size, but Teofim is a lightweight, and Lomachenko actually started as a featherweight. Okay, so that's 126 pounds. So he's been moving up. He moved up to lightweight. He moved to super featherweight and to lightweight, and he's at lightweight now, currently campaigning at lightweight. So size difference shouldn't be a big issue, I don't think. But you know, it goes without saying that Teofimo is a little bigger and stronger than probably stronger. I don't know if he's strong, but we can assume that because he's a natural lightweight. Than Lomanchenko, he's probably a little bit stronger. So let's just say that Teofimo has like maybe he's stronger and he's younger than Lomanchenko. So that's, you know, at a quick glance, that would be, you know, the two advantages that just, you know, that stood out. Okay, that stands out. So when it comes to boxing technique, I mean, I don't know. I've in the fight with Teofimo and Comey, we didn't get to see much because he knocked Comey out in the first round. Okay, got him with a nice power right hand and took him out of there. So we didn't really get to see much. Okay, now do I think he can do that with Lomachenko? I don't think so. I don't think Lomachenko is gonna, you know, fall for that. I don't. What was it? The first round he beat Comey, or the second round? I'm not sure. I don't remember. But anyway, the fight was over pretty quickly. So we didn't get a chance to see, you know, where Teofimo was in terms of his, if he made an improvement from his last fight, because you know the fight before the Comey fight was the fight with the kid from I think Japan, Nakatani. Yeah, Nakatani. So that was the fight. In that fight, Nakatani put up a good fight, and you know. Teofimo didn't really look that sharp in that fight. I mean, you know, he won the fight, but he there were some flaws. He showed some flaws. I mean, you know, he showed a lot of flaws actually, and you know, if you was to base, you know, your opinion of him on that fight, and you know, compare that to the Comey fight. You know, I mean, the Comey fight, he performed much better. He knocked Comey out. But, I mean, in the Nakatani fight, he struggled with Nakatani. I mean, well, Nakatani was a taller guy, you know, nice jab, okay, tough kid. And so, there's a couple of times there where Teofimo tried to take him out, but he just wouldn't go. He wasn't cooperating. So, the fight went a distance, and you know, from what I understand, that fight, that was the first time that Teofimo went the distance, and so maybe that had something to do with his performance. I don't know, but the bottom line is that maybe he wasn't preparing himself to go the distance, and he just, you know, the kid just took him the distance. But I would think that wouldn't be the case because I mean he's a professional, so you know he should be preparing for. I mean, I know he has knockout power, but you know, if he's going to depend on that, he's making a big mistake and not prepared for a 12-round fight. So I would assume that he was prepared for a 12-round fight. He did fight 12 rounds. He didn't look extremely gassed out in the fight, but I mean, you know, he performed fairly well. I mean, you know, actually. And but it was just that maybe because we saw him knock out Kobe so quickly, you know, and maybe we expected him to knock out Nakatani as well because of what he did to Kobe. But you know, styles make fights. So the Nakatani kid was a little more difficult. He didn't cooperate with the hype about knockout, so he took Teofimo a distance, and so we got a chance to see what Teofimo looked like. Okay, going the distance against a fairly decent fighter. Okay. I mean, this guy was no Lomachenko, but he was a damn good. He had good technique. I mean, you know, fairly good skills, and he gave Teofimo a little bit of trouble. So, you know, if we was to base our opinion on Teofimo, you know, our opinion how he's going to do in this fight with Lomachenko, on the fight with Nakatani, it doesn't look good for Teofimo at all. Because, I mean, in that fight, he kept his hand down low, trying to do the shoulder roll, which he did. He wasn't that effective at it, you know. I think once or twice he tried to use it and got clipped. So, I'm not sure how he's going to do. I mean, you know, he says he's going to knock Lomachenko out within 3 rounds. I don't know about that either. I mean, I just can't see it. I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible because the kid does have some... You know, yeah, it does have like an explosive power when he needs to be, and it was on display in the fight against Nakatani, but it just didn't work for him. Okay, Nakatani was more or less, ready. He was, prepared. So that didn't work on Nakatani. But I don't think it's gonna work on Lomanchenko either. Like the way he do those guys he fought before. He just jumped in there with a leaping left hook or something like that, and right hand. I mean, but he does it quickly. I mean, he does it fast. Explosive. Okay. And it works against lesser opponents, but I don't know. It didn't work against Nakatani. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't think it's going to work against Lomanchenko at all. Okay, and so in the Nakatani fight, we saw that when those little tricks that that Teofimo does, when it didn't work, he just basically settled down and just grounded out the win. But can he do that against Loma? If he can't knock Loma out, can he outbox Loma for 12 rounds? I don't see it. I'm sorry. Not based on the fight I saw with Nakatani. If there is some kind of improvement since that fight in his boxing ability, then maybe so. I just don't know about it. But from what I know and from what I've seen, I don't think he's going to be able to outbox Lomanchenko for 12 rounds, because he didn't really do that well against Nakatani. Then I'm going to say again that maybe Nakatani was like a tall fighter, so maybe he had problems because of the height of Nakatani, and maybe he won't have the same problem because Lomanchenko is going to be smaller than him. So, maybe it's a size thing. Maybe he can't fight tall fighters, if that's the case, I don't know. But I just don't see him, based on, his boxing ability that I've seen him display. I don't really see him having I don't see him being able to box Lomanchenko for 12 rounds, outbox Lomanchenko. He probably can box him for 12 rounds, but outbox him, I don't think so. And I mean, hand speed wise, Lomanchenko fought Gary Russell, and he has good hand speed, and that didn't really affect Lomachenko too much. So I mean, I don't think Teofimo is as fast as Gary Russell in the hand speed department. He's no slouch. Teofimo, he's pretty quick, but I don't know if he's fast. So he might be a little faster than Lomachenko. I don't know. Or they might be around the same, but Lomachenko knows how to handle that. So I don't think he's gonna have. He beat Russell timing. So I mean, I don't think that's gonna be a problem. Hand speed is gonna be a problem for Lomachenko. So I'm trying to figure out ways to where I can give Teofimo the edge against Lomachenko. I mean, I just don't. If I look at ring generalship, I'm gonna have to give it to Lomachenko. If I look at experience, Lomachenko. Okay. Power, okay, I'll give that edge to Teofimo. But again, all right, let's just continue. Skills, overall skill set, Lomachenko again. Okay. So I mean, I don't know. Teofimo has talked himself into this fight. Okay, I mean, he did a lot of good. He did a lot of talking, and it was good. He got him where he is. But will he be able to back up all the talk? Okay, that's the question. And he backed it up against Comey. He didn't back it up against Nakatani. I mean, I don't think he was doing much talking about Nakatani. I don't think he really knew too much about him. But anyway, the bottom line is that when the quality of the opponent was at a higher level, he didn't perform as good as he did at the lower level when the opponent was at the lower level. Knocking guys out, doing all kind of crazy backflips and this and that. All that stuff, after not in the fight, but after the fight. But he would finish these guys and quickly. But he couldn't do it against Nakatani because Nakatani was a step up. So it looked like when he stepped up in the competition, he wasn't able to do all the things that he usually do. Okay, and so that's a red flag right there. The Nakatani fight was a red flag for him because you know, having that much trouble with a guy like Nakatani, I mean, it just tells me that he's probably going to have a whole heap of trouble with Lomachenko in terms of just boxing, you know, just basic boxing and just doing what you got to do, you know, for 12 rounds. You know, your knockout's not working, you know, your little tricks are not working. I don't know. I think that maybe Lomachenko might take him to the deep waters and drown him out there. You know what I mean? You know, I just hope he's prepared. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I hope that Teofimo is really going to be prepared for this fight physically to go 12 rounds. Okay, and if I was him, I would be preparing to go. I would train to go 15 rounds against Lomachenko, because Lomachenko is going to come in there and he's going to be performing at a high level. If it's for 12 rounds, he's going to do it for 12 rounds. Okay, and Teofimo can afford to fade. Okay, in any part of that fight against Lomachenko. Okay, so we're gonna see what happened, but from my perspective, I think this fight is probably a little bit too quick for Teofimo, and he probably should have waited a little bit longer before trying to take on a guy like Lomachenko. I mean, you know, he say he's ready, okay, but like again, if you go back and watch the Nakatani fight, you know, you can tell me if you agree that he's ready or not ready. But I mean, I'm not taking anything away from the kid. He's got a lot of balls, and I like that. Okay, he got confidence in himself. I love that as well. Okay, but it's going to take more than balls and confidence to beat Lomachenko. It's going to take skills. Okay, and skills pays the bills. And against Lomachenko, it's a big bill. Okay, so you're going to have a lot of skills. Okay, so hopefully he's prepared, but I don't know. From what I see from Lomachenko, you know, even against bigger guys, you know, I mean, he just breaks them down, you know. I mean, he just goes in there, he does his movement, he does his thing. I mean, you know, it's, you know, the pressure that he brings to you, you know, constantly in your face, constantly punching, constantly moving, constantly slipping, sliding, you know, giving you angles, but all at the same time, his offense is going on and on. And I mean, he doesn't stop. He doesn't give you a break. You know, so it's gonna be constant pressure for the whole 12 rounds, and this guy Lomachenko is gonna be coming at you. Will Teofimo be able to dissuade him? You know, will his punching power keep Lomachenko at bay? Will his jab keep Lomachenko at bay? It's hard for me to say, but again, I mean, I haven't seen really, besides his punching power and like I said, his youth, I don't see anything from Teofimo that can really deal with Lomachenko. I mean, I didn't see it in the Nakatani fight, and I was trying to use that as a gauge because, you know, he was a fairly good fighter, better than the guys that Teofimo fought previously. So, well, I don't know about the Comey fight, like I said, because we didn't really get to see Teofimo fight Comey. We just saw the knockout, and, you know, I don't know if that was I'm not going to say it's a lucky punch, okay, but the fight was over quickly, and we didn't get to really see, you know, how he would perform, because Comey's a tough kid. So, I mean, if Nakatani gave Teofimo so much trouble, what would Comey have done if they had, you know, if he hadn't gotten stopped so early in the fight? So we never know. But I mean, the bottom line is, I'm not really feeling, you know, based on the Nakatani fight, I haven't seen anything from, but I mean, all right, let's be fair about it, okay? I'm talking about Nakatani fight, but we have to talk about a fighter. I'm not, you know, I don't want to say I'm skipping over the Comey fight, and, you know, some people might say, well, hey, look what he did against Comey. I mean, yeah, you're right, and, you know, maybe he can do the same thing against Lomachenko, but I just don't see that happening, okay? And you know, I just don't see him. I don't see Teofimo doing the same thing that Lomachenko that he did to Comey, okay? I think Lomachenko has too much experience for that to happen, and, you know, so at the end of the day, we're gonna have to wait for the fight, I guess. But like I said, based on what I saw from Teofimo so far, I don't think he's ready for Lomanchenko. You know, I saw her. You know, I was on YouTube and I saw they had a meme on YouTube with this guy. They showed Lomanchenko throwing this baby up in the air and catching him. You know, when you look closely, you saw that it was the baby was it was Teofimo. So that was hilarious, you know. So I guess they're trying to say that, you know, Lomachenko is going to school Teofimo like a baby, you know. So I don't know, but yeah. So I'm thinking that, you know, Lomachenko. I mean, he's getting old, but I don't think he's old. He reached a point where he can't deal with a guy like Teofimo. So based on the experience, the overall skill set, I'm just thinking that Teofimo maybe is not ready for Lomachenko yet, and he's probably going to get a boxing lesson from Lomanchenko. But you know, I could be wrong. You know, we'll see. And you know, it's in about 3 weeks for the fight, so it's not too far from, you know, from here. So I'm looking forward to the fight. I'm sure everybody's looking forward to it. That's all I have for right now. This is TB Boxing. I'm out. Oh yeah, before I leave, I want you guys to make sure you subscribe, hit the bell icon so we can give you updates, you know, on what's going on in the boxing community. Make sure you subscribe, press the like button. That's all I have. This is TBE. I'm out.